I really like this new voltage and current measuring meter module from Junctek. I'm probably going to add this to my solar system, replacing the current battery monitor that I have right now. I want to go through it with you, opening the box, going through the functions on this, and see what you think. Hello, I'm John and welcome to Bright Spark Ideas. It's January 2022. Can't believe it's that already. However, we're back to solar again, and I wanted to introduce you to a new battery monitor that I've just received and tell you a little bit about it. So this is a new battery monitor. It's by a company called Junctek, and it's a model KG140F. I received this because the company contacted me after seeing a battery monitor video that I did on YouTube last year. And they said, hey, we have a better product and we'd like you to review it. So full disclosure, I didn't pay for this. I'm not being paid to do the video, but I thought it'd be interesting to take a look inside. Alright, so let's see, what do we have here? We have some cables to connect the modules. Let's put those down here. Ooh, I like shunts. Let's have a look at the shunt first of all. This is nice and heavy. Oh, this is a good sized shunt. Okay, pretty easily to see what's going on here. You got a PCB here and a connector. This is your battery connect this side, and this is your load connect. We got some good sized terminals here, probably 3/8. We'll measure those and take a look at those in a minute. More cables. Ooh, good sized lugs. Look at those. Nice crimp lugs, little screwdriver, and a wrench, spanner, wrench, whichever you want to talk about. All right, let's see what's here. Okay, that's the Junctek. Okay, this is the current measuring monitor. Okay, pretty easy to see what's on here. Let's move that to one side. And what do we got here? Okay, so this is the display module. Let's take a look at this unit first, and then we'll see how we're going to connect these pieces together and go from there. Okay. Okay, when in doubt, where did I put? Here's the instructions. Okay, quick guide. Voltage current meter. Let's have a look at this. Oh my goodness. Even with my glasses on, I cannot read this. Okay, let's take a look here. Looks like there's a way for me to download a guide. Let me do that. I might be able to read that and find out what all these features are. Let's go do that first. Okay. Okay, so I was able to download the complete guide, as in the form of a user manual. It's very comprehensive. There's a lot of information in here, and there's no way I'm going to read this to start with. But I've picked out some diagrams here so we can work out what these features are on here. And first of all, let's start here. We've got this connector here, 3 wires. To wire it up to get this to work, we only really need the one. However, the reason for the 3 wires is if you want to use a relay, that wouldn't be why you would need the 3-wire connection. Why would you want to use a relay? If you want to use some of these functions on here that allow you to turn on and off alarm features, and that would be why you would want the relay. And we can go into that later, but let's just go through this. The next is this link here, and I forgot to show this cable. It's a basic telephone cable connector. And this one would be if you want to link it to the computer, where you can go through all the diagnostics and set all these functions from your computer. This connector here is if you want to set up the display, which is here, which of course we want to do. So that would be that function, and it's a simple matter of just plugging it into the back of here. So that's how that connects together. On this side, this is a temperature sensor connector. So simply connecting in the temperature sensor here, like so. And the next one down here is the current sensor, which is the one that would go to the shunt. So let's see, where's that cable? Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so we've got, that's interesting. If I put that in that way round, that does not match up with the diagram. So let's see here. That matches up with the diagram with the VOC and the ground there. So I guess it might make a difference. So that's now going to connect to the shunt. And this one is the output control, which we would need to figure out what that is. Let me just see what that is. We'll come back to that because I'm not sure what that is. I think the next thing to do is power this all up. And I am not going to go and dismantle my solar connection. It's January, it's only just getting enough sun as it is, even though I'm in California. So I'm not going to disconnect that, and I need to get some way of just demonstrating this. So I'll find a LiPo battery and connect it up purely for a demonstration purpose. Okay, let's do that. All right, so I've cobbled something together here with a battery. Let's see, so this is the 1-wire connection from the positive side of the battery. It's just a small little LiPo. Okay, let's see here. And I've connected this sensor here from the current sensor to the shunt. This is the temperature gauge. We know that. We put that to the battery, keep the ambient temperature of the battery in case it overheats. Oh, the output control here that I didn't know what it was. What that's for is, where is that other wire? Here it is. This is if you're going to use that relay and you want to power the relay with another battery, not using your main battery. So that's what that output control would be for. And we can talk about that later, but let's see if we can get this wired up and get it working. So let's see, what else do I need to do? We need to connect the display. So we're going to plug in the display and we're going to connect it to the back of here. All right. And let me see. Let me turn the battery on. Oh, okay. So we have a blinking light here. That looks good. Looks like it's setting some things up here. Let's see. So we've got 11.99 volts. So this is a pretty fully charged battery. So it's not a great battery, but that's maybe close enough. If I had my meter, I could see how accurate that is. And I know there's a way of adjusting this gauge here so that we can up it or down it based on a true reading. Let's see, amps, no amps reading. All I've got here for a load is a little light bulb. That's not going to tell us much. So it's considering this is an 80% charged battery. Okay, so we've got some things here. Let's go through this. Somewhere around here was a little screwdriver. Where did that go? Here we go. All right, so we have a lock feature. When you press this on and off, that's going to lock the features on there. There we go. So this is, what was that? Hang on a second. Let me just go through this. This is the address of this unit. So if you had multiple units, for instance, you would change this so that you can monitor different addresses for this unit. It's telling us that the temperature here is 24 degrees C. Let's see here. Yep, it's slowly going up. So that's obviously working. All right. So this is the time since it's been connected. And this is the status of the connection. So if this connection between here is not strong, then I think that this changes here. And I don't think that we're going to do much else with this. I think what I really need to do is go through these functions with you and see if we can actually put a bigger load on here so that we can get a decent amperage reading from that. This function here should be telling us that the drain is coming out of the battery. So I don't know why. I guess it's because we don't have a sufficient setup here yet. Let's see if we can change that, and then we can go through the different features on here. I don't want to go through that. The presets as to the battery protection. Let's see if I can get a load on here. Okay, so I removed the light bulb and I've added a capacitor. So let's turn the battery on and see what happens. Okay, so there was a little X appeared here until the connection was made. So I guess if there's a bad connection, you're going to get a little X here. So we already talked about the off is we can toggle backwards and forwards to turn the relay on and off, and we can get to that when we go down through the sensors. So this is really for the relay. So let's have a look and see here. It's not like in the battery setup. This is the watts and the kilowatts per hour settings. Let's go through and see what happens here. So we've got English. All right, so the first thing on the menu is the language, and we can actually change this to Chinese if you'd like to. There are no other languages, so we're going to leave it at English. We're going to go down to clear the current. If we wanted to, we can clear the current settings and cancel that out. We'll just leave that as it was, and the same with the data. We can clear that, same thing. Okay, so this is the amperage preset. This particular battery is less than 1 amp hour actually. Let's see how we do this. All right, so we're gonna go 1 amp hour, 0, and that's 0 that. Okay. All right, so that looks like that's okay. Tells us how much is remaining. Now it's jumped to 60%. Okay. Brightness. Oh, sorry. Let's see here. Let's go down to brightness. We can change the brightness. We can make it brighter. the screen, that is. As you can see, we can make it darker. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. 80% out there. All right, and we're going to go down. Okay, so here's the overprotection. So this is low voltage protection. So we would set this on my normal battery, not this one. We would probably set this at 12. So let's just go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's see, we'll go back. Well, no, I'm not doing this right. All right, 1%, let's go back to, so this would be 12 volts for the low protection, okay? So whoops, I keep getting this wrong. There we go. So, and this is the overprotection, so I don't know what, 14.5 probably. Let's see. So this would be 5. And this would be, my finger's probably in the way each time I'm doing this, but you probably got the, okay. Now, what's next? Over current protection, I'm not going to mess with this, but once again, you'd set the amperage over current protection. Same for negative protection. Let's see, negative current protection, excuse me. This is over, this is for your wattage. And you cannot, if I remember rightly, I don't think you can set, you cannot set this one or the over temperature protection. You can't set either of these unless the relay is connected. So we're just going to ignore that for now. Recovery time. Once again, if any of these signals tell you that there's a problem, over protection, under protection, it gives you the opportunity to say, okay, let's see if we can recover. I'm going to give it 5 seconds to see if it can recover the fault before it's going to shut off. Standby time. Actually, I think this is for this particular unit, the display. Let's check that out. So let's go 1 second. Yeah, so it's gonna turn the display off after 1 second. Going back to the 0 leaves it on. It stays on all the time. Okay. Voltage calibration. This is, I didn't bring my meter in. I should have done. We could have checked the battery and compared it with what we're seeing on the screen, and if it needed to go plus or minus, we can do that here. Minus, or we can go plus volts. Okay. And current, we can do exactly the same with the current. Temperature calibration. We can do the temperature calibration. We can have a monitor, find out what the ambient temperature is, compare it in plus or minus it once again with that. The address, that goes back to this address here. As I said, if you had several of these that you wanted to monitor, then you would change the address here by just clicking on one of those. Delay time. Delay time is if one of these settings is triggering a thing, you can actually delay. Let's see how we do that. You can do that in so many seconds again. All right. And current ratio. Can't remember what the current ratio is. Let me look that up. 20. Let's see here. Current ratio. Oh, all right. That's why I didn't understand what that was. Okay. So let's go back to that. Sorry. Current ratio. So this has got a shunt. If it's got a HAL, you know, one of those ring things where you put your cables through, that would be where you could use the current ratio. Okay. And monitor. The monitor is if you want to turn this device off plug this cable into your computer and do your functioning from your computer, you would actually then turn this on and off here. I'm not going to do that because that's not what I want to do. 22 is relay mode. We're not using the relay. If we were using a relay, we would go in here and you can set it to either normally closed, normally open, but no, we're saying no, we don't have a relay. Okay, and then we can restore all the settings. Well, we can do that. Okay, so we're back to square one. It starts all over again. Kind of quick and dirty. This isn't a perfect setup. What I think I might do is try and go through this, spend a little bit of time reading the guide, and I can set up maybe a display with a better battery and a better shunt, the shunt connected to the battery, etc., and go through that process. But at least hopefully this has been helpful to give you some idea about this device. I'm pretty impressed. As I said, I didn't pay for it, but I would actually add this to my system because it's better monitoring than mine. And oh, I haven't even got to that yet. The good stuff is you can actually have this as an app on your phone. And I haven't even figured out how to download the app and do that yet. But all of this information that I'm doing here, so if this is down, like my system is actually down in the basement. And so I could actually have this on my phone and I could change any of these settings or monitor the settings off of my app off of my phone, which I think is really cool. And I'm going to do that as an extra thing on here. So, okay, well, hopefully that you've enjoyed this. If you did, please give it a like. And very important to me is please subscribe, because it helps me and gives me motivation to continue to do this in the future. So thanks for watching.